Hello everybody. So I just unboxed these two. I was unboxing this from the tax-free bag that Loft put both of them in that I can't open until I leave Japan. I mean, that's not really important information, but this is my first time to Japan, my first time to Loft, and so I would like to document everything as much as I can. How has this one perform? It's very well. It's really good leather, as you can see here. I have thrown this around, so now it has made it to 3 different countries over the course of a month. And I simply throw this into my bag, my luggage. You could see the marking there. You could see I've stopped babying it. Now I am generally happy with this except for one thing. Let me show you. The zipper is okay. It's I tend to prefer more solid zipper. I think this is probably... Sorry guys, I've started coughing again after being infected at work in the office. I rejoined the public workforce as opposed to working for myself, and so my immunity has been compromised for a number of years now. So this is the result. Anyway, so it's a bit like zinc or aluminium, probably brass zipper is my favorite. It often feels smoother, but with use, this has become a lot smoother now, but it still feels a little bit tight often. It's almost with a brass zipper, I found that it feels more like a better oiled mechanism. So now, if you recall, it has this. I hardly use this, but it's very handy. This pocket's always handy. It's actually not a pocket. It's supposed to be for the front flap, but I tend to do it like this. Mainly because it's more convenient, but also because I really love the cover of the English Hobonichi Techo. It's just so classic, so classy. It reminds me of very old East Asian books. They all look like this, almost biblical. Now, so everything great, everything's good. So there's only 2 things that I found bugs me a little bit. Not bugs me, but it's worth putting your attention to. A lot of these covers have pen loops. That's too small for a lot of handcrafted pens. They tend to be really thick and big. So this is pretty tight, and this is the slim, and you can see there you can't go through more than that. And in some instances, I have to put the pen upside down like this, like so. And so with some pens, with this particular pen, which is the Snow White Bungo Box mini pocket, it'll stop there. So it has expanded a little bit, it has stretched a little bit, so I could push it, but you could see it's pretty snug, it's pretty tight. So that's one. So if you love those collectibles, one-off handmade pens, they tend to be on the large side. Covers like this can be a bit of a struggle, but that's just one thing. The real concern though, you could see here, there isn't a flap protecting this zipper here from the pen. So if you think about it, when you zip it up, the zipper mechanism, which is here, it has to go through this pen all the time. If your pen is a little bit more delicate and it is a little bit bigger and the cover is new and it hasn't stretched yet, it can potentially scratch your pen. So if you think about it like so, yeah, it's like that. And then, so when I pull this, I tend to not just zip it in, I tend to pull it out and zip. But I pull, and that's not very good for the zipper. But my choice is either risking my pen getting scratched or risking the zipper. I mean, there's enough space there, but with the thickness of the zipper mechanism here, there, I just don't want to risk it, especially when I can't see it. So if you think about it, let's pull it. You see it's pretty close, yeah? Look. You see there? That metal there. and the body of the pen. So this is a little bit stretchy because every time I zip it up, I've pulled it out a little bit. I pulled it out like a little bit, and then I zip it. Instead of zipping it casually, I always make sure I tug just a little bit, which you could see is put an extra tension on the zipper, which isn't ideal. But as I said, you know, conflicting priorities here. So I suppose there's enough space there, but it depends on how much you want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it. And so if you see, so if you push a little bit too deep, that's getting a little bit too close to the pen there. So there it is. It's just getting a bit too close. So the credit to the creator, I think the meticulous measuring have been done to make sure that whatever pen fits into this loop, it won't get scratched by the zipper. But I am still very, it's just, for me, it's too close for comfort. Yeah, it's just too close for comfort. So for me, I always wondered if it is possible or if it's ideal to have a flap here to cover up these teeth from the pens the way you have on jeans opening. If you recall, if you look at your jeans, usually the zipper in your pants, trousers, there has a flap here so that the zipper's teeth do not touch your skin directly, because they'll be very uncomfortable. So there's a flap here that put a barrier between this teeth, I don't know what you call these, and your skin. Just look at your trousers and you'll know what I mean. So that's the two things. The pen loop, the size of the pen loop, just you have to be aware it would be too small for a lot of handmade pens if you're into those pens. And there's no flap covering the teeth here. And I think most covers don't, because it adds extra weight and extra bulk, which you don't really need on covers like this, right? Because they tend to make a lot of difference. These small trimmings, this additional leather, actually make a lot of difference in terms of weight and bulk, and weight and bulk, size and weight is very, very important when you are traveling with them. And I would assume that the main reason why you have your notebooks, your journals, your planners, and covers like these with zippers and all is because you're traveling with them. So largely, I think it's very well made. I think I can highly recommend this cover. Please note that I'm not associated with Hobonichi or the maker of this cover in any way. I purchased all of my products using my personal funds. This is by Arts and Science, Hobonichi, made in Japan. But just pay attention to those two: the loop, the size of the loop, and the distance between the zipper and your precious pen, if you are concerned about that. So that's it. Thank you very much. Bye.